Get down. Let me clear my throat. Yeah. Oh, that's better. That's better. Somebody pass around the offering. Since I'm always preaching on tracks, you feel me? I'm not gonna get paid for it. Sermon of the day. You right where you supposed to be, baby. Informants informant, that information forming. Important you get a portion of fortune pouring. Confession, fortunately, blessings are not a snoring. You mellow, so focus on scoring. Got you underperforming. I never expect something, never assume nothing. Judging me for my past, but that's why I'm triumphant. I don't demand, I know where I stand like engineer hands. Watch how my life pans. That game plan, show out like a jotter, pop out like a cutter. Telling the quick rock, skipping the country squares like hopscotch. This gonna be my mood to my beat drop. Putting my boogie shoes in my diddy boots, ain't no stop. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Congratulations on the celebration. I know I'm dope without the need of a validation. No congratulations on no celebration. I know I'm dope without the need of a validation. Yeah. If having hope is dangerous, call me evil Knievel. You leading on the wrong side, living with peasant needles. So lethal, mean Shane Black when I write a sequel. Cause I snuggle my dream till it's seen as illegal. And I still probably will, cause I can never give up. I got my goals calling me, how could I never pick up? Either we make up or just break up.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. I don't know about you, but I, for one, am glad that it is Thursday and the week is almost done. Yay and yay. It is Friday, Junior, right? So, welcome in, guys. Happy Thursday. Thank you for joining us for another Thursday night with me, your favorite girl, Lady Dawn B, here on the Bravo with Sheila Network, where we have amazing conversations of all kinds, of all types, of all shapes, sizes, and colors on a regular basis. So I hope your April is going by well. I cannot believe it is already, day 9, and soon it will be over, and then we'll be in May. This year is going by so fast. On one hand, I'm kind of glad. On the other hand, I'm like, I don't know. Slow down a little bit, time. Slow down just a little bit. Hey, y'all. I'm so glad y'all popped in on tonight. So, as always, we welcome you into this amazing space of conversation, and we invite you to chime in the chat. We invite you to join in the conversation. We long and look for hearing from you. So, tonight, we are good. It is, right? It is running so fast. I feel like, dang, we just got here. On one hand, I'm not mad about it. But on the other hand, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't think I'm ready. I'm not ready. I need a little more time. But, come on, summer. Come on, summer. So before we welcome everyone in the chat, I'm going to ask you just hit that thumbs up button if you wouldn't mind. Please, ma'am, please, sir. It looks like a thumb. I'm sorry, y'all. I got something in my eye. It looks like a thumbs up. If you just tap that, just one good time for us. We appreciate it. It's free 99 to you, as we say here. But it does mean everything to us, as it helps to push us further out into these wonderful YouTube streets so that we can get some more good people in on some great conversation. And that's what we want. We want to touch lives, change lives, make a difference in somebody's life. Here we have true truths. We have, the real deal conversations. We want to get down to the root of matters so that we can come up better, right? Right. So with that in mind, just want to give a little house rules here on the Bravo Sheila Network. While we are not a Christian-based network, we do welcome everyone's thoughts, feelings, opinions, whatever your moral compass is. You are free to share it in the chat. We are here to have conversation and dialogue. Though most of us are professionals in our area, those who are on the team that do come and share. Some of us are licensed counselors, certified life coaches, such as myself. And, we're in various arenas of life where we are professional at what we do. However, when we come here, we come in just to chit and chat and have conversation. Not necessarily always wear our professional hat, but we are here to have healthy dialogue because sometimes we just need to talk, right? Right. So, with that in mind, again, we do want to welcome and invite you to join in the chat to express your thoughts, feelings, and opinions, whatever your moral compass is. We invite you to share it. Our number one rule and main rule is that we do so, whatever engagement we do so respectfully. So again, we're not here to fight, fuss, argue. We are not here. Here to have healthy conversation. And it's okay if we butt heads. We don't have to agree. It's not one voice, one sound. We want everyone to express how they feel. However, we want to also respectfully express how we feel. So as for me, y'all know I'm a God's girl. Most of the squad, the panel, is also on the side of being believers. So when we share, sometimes what we share comes from our moral compass of our beliefs. So, I'm a God's girl, so you're going to get a little Jesus when you get me every time, no matter what. So with that in mind, again, we invite you to engage in the chat freely, but respectfully. We're not here to convict nor to convince, but we're here to have healthy conversation and have amazing dialogue so that maybe when we leave here, we can show up in the spaces that we move in more freely, show up more authentically. And sometimes you just need to hear something from another perspective that may cause you to think of something a little differently, right? Right. And I think that is all of the church announcements as we say that we have. Feel free to, yes. And I wish I could see Coach Steele right now. See, she cutting up before she even get up here. So I already know this night is going to be something else. So I already know. So if you would, please, sir, please hit that bell. That's the subscription button, the notification. It will advise you when we are on because we have other amazing shows that come on, like Mondays Beyond the Mic with the lead host, Dr. Elaine. And I get to ride shotgun with her on Mondays, and we go over there. I think Mondays are really turning into a pre-Thursday. Something's happening on Mondays. I think I've rubbed off on her in some kind of way, but I love it. But we have great conversations. And then if you do need spiritual guidance, enlightenment, encouragement, a little push, you can go right across the street to the Sheila Ingram Network. And over there, it is All Things Good and All Things God, or All Things God and All Things Good, however you want to put it, where Pastor Sheila, my mother, literally by birth, Pastor Rosa, and myself are over there sharing some great inspiration and encouragement through the word. They're on Tuesdays. Mom comes on at 10 a.m., I believe. On Fridays, which is tomorrow, the Women of Grace, which is Pastor Sheila and Mom together. That's a dynamic duo you don't want to miss. They're on at 11 o'clock. And then here I come bringing Friday night to a close at 7:30 p.m. with 30 minutes of encouragement, the word, song, worship, and prayer. Come and join me for some spirituality with your girl, Elder Dawn B. It's when I switch hats and I do all things God. So with that being said, let's get into this conversation. But before we do, I got to bring up who? Our favorite girl here on the Bravo with Sheila Network. I call her my co-host all the time. She never knows who I'm talking about when I start to introduce her because, their accolades just grow and grow. I might give her a little break tonight, but I will say she is amazing. She's phenomenal. She is awesome at what she does, and she is beautiful inside and out, being the person that she is. And you know her and you love her as the amazing Coach Theo, and I'm going to do her theme song as I bring her up. So tonight, on this very mic, you're about to hear, we swear, the best podcast of the year. So, cheerio, what you say, yell, scream, bravo. Also, if you didn't know, this is Thursday night with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B, and the squad on the Bravo with Sheila Network.
I seriously was trying to figure out who you were. I was trying to figure out who you were introducing.
See what I'm saying, y'all? You see what I'm saying? It's just, I don't understand how she don't know who I be talking about. Like, I'm talking about you. Talk about you, baby girl.
Good evening, everyone.
How are you doing today?
I'm tired, so I'm a little silly right now, but I'm good.
Well, you know what? Listen, there's a lot of that going on around. There's a lot of that going around right now. I don't know what y'all gonna get tonight. Y'all gonna get something. I don't know what you're gonna get. Because you can't have me and Coach Theo both silly, because that's not a good combination. It's fun. One of us got to stay grounded, but neither one of us are going to do that today. So we're going to call this pre-Friday Friday. You know, we're just going to act like it because we here. So let's see who is in the chat. I didn't even make a banner. I'm telling on myself about what we're talking about tonight. Let's see. Of course, we have the greatest moderator to ever do it in these YouTube streets, and she belongs to us. And as I said on Monday night, we will scratch your ankles for her. Okay, so she ain't going away. She belongs to us. She is the person of the lady in Kenya. Thank you for always being here and helping us do what we do so smoothly. And before I, you know what? Okay, so anyway, hey Anae, she says, hey Bravo. See, I gotta get my life together. Y'all see, I'm acting up already. She said, hey Zombie, hey girl. Then we have Harlem Girl in the building. What's up, sis? Says, hey, beautiful. How are you, lovely? And then my sis, the juggling mommy. Listen, we got to get her back on this side of the wall because sis be dropping. She be dropping the bit this and no prisoners, okay? No holds barred with her, and I love it. Okay, she is that she who gives it to them. She says, hey, gorgeous. Like, hi, gorgeous one. That's my girl. She says, yes, this year is running fast. I'm telling you, it is crazy. It is unbelievable. It is already the 9th of April. And like the days ain't coming back, y'all. Got to hurry up and get them. And of course, what you say? Big Clay in the building. Hey, hun, how are you? Glad you made it into the house. Appreciate your support all the time. And then we have the Queen Bee of the Bravo with Sheila Network, along with the Sheila Ingram Ministries Network, the Queen, my Auntie Bravo. Pastor Sheila is in the house saying blessings, everyone. I love how she always comes over and checks on us. And let's see, we have that phenomenal woman that I told you about a little while ago who holds it down on Monday nights and steers the ship. She kicks off the week. So if by Thursday, I just thought about this, I'm just going to blame her for it right now. So if by Thursday, okay, we are off the chain, it's because she kicked it off on Monday night. She started a flow. So by Thursday, it's only right that we keep it going, you know, so she sets it off. Y'all know her, you love her. And if you don't hop over on Monday nights, I promise you will. That's my sis, our sis. I can't be selfish, that's our sis. The Dr. Elaine is in the building, the author of I'm a woman with issues, but I still qualify. Y'all better go get it. You better go get it. She says, hey, my sisters, we love you, Dr. E. And of course, we have the most amazing, the demure, Denitra, my other sis, the soft life strategist. She says, good evening, everyone. Listen, she is teaching us, showing us, leading by example, how to build that soft life. And not in the way that everybody usually thinks. You know, she's a hardworking woman, but it's about positioning yourselves to get in that space, to live a soft life, to be that, as little sis Lily would say, I'm just a girl, you know, to get in that space. You know, we getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Feel more relaxed these days. So that's everybody in the chat for the moment. And if you are up in the expensive seats in the silent section, we want to invite you to come on down to the comment area. There's room for you down here. Pop in, say hello. Let us greet you properly. And listen, you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to worry. We have security here. This is one of the reasons why we love Anae so much, because she is awesome and she is sweet and she is kind and she will greet you and she will guide you to your seat. Make sure you have all the refreshments you need. However, if you get out of hand, she will turn around and become security and will escort you out of the building so gracefully, but you will be put out. So, you know, because we operate in a space of integrity here. So I just wanted to put all of that out there. So if you're feeling a little hesitant and reluctant about coming down and chatting with us, please don't. Come on down. It's safe. I promise you, you're good. So anyway, guys, let's get into this conversation on tonight. So the topic we're talking about is relationship distance.
Mm.
So relationship distance. Now, chat, please chat. When you hear those two words together, what typically comes to your mind, or what's the first thing that pops into your mind when you hear relationship distance? Because here nothing is ever normal when we have conversations. It's not just straight laced. It's usually with a bit of a twist. But when you think about relationship distance, what comes to your mind, Coach Steele?
So it's funny because what came to my mind was like people living in different states, and what I thought to myself was the longest distance I've been in is New Jersey to Manhattan, right? But I'm sure that's not what.
Okay.
But I'm sure that's not what you were talking about.
Well, that's your life experience. So, we embrace it.
I was wondering if you're talking about like people like Viola Davis, like how she lives in Hollywood or wherever she lives, and her husband is in Philadelphia, right? But that's what I was thinking about, people who are in long distance relationships. That's what came to my mind.
Okay, and that's what I figured most people would come. I'm sorry, I have something on my face. I don't know what's happening today. Something bothering me. The juggling mommy says, break up. Listen, okay. That's the first thing. All right. Dr. E says maturity, being able to be apart by miles but close in heart. Oh, I love that. I love that sentiment. The maturity. Yes. Denitra says, I think of non-traditional situations when I think of relationship distance. Yep. All of that and above. Anybody else want to get in? I feel like I'm in school. Anybody else have an answer? And all of that is good and is correct. We don't have any wrong answers here. Hold on. Oh, girl.
Where Paris been? Where you been, Paris?
Hey, Paris Von Thomas. That's my sis. That's our sis. I have to share, everybody. I gotta share. So glad you popped in. Tonight we talk about relationship distance, Paris. What is your take on, though, when you hear those two words, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear relationship distance? She says, good evening, all. And then Big Clay says, living together, married, or in a relationship, and distance in the relationship. All right, so there's some duality to his response. We're going to get Big Clay in on this side.
Holland Girl said a good one.
Let's see. Holland Girl says, not aligned. Okay, very good. I like that. I love them all. Let's see. Paris says, there is enough of me to share. Love y'all. Listen, I'm greedy, okay? And I don't like to share. I'm the last. Well, I don't have no choice because I'm the fourth of four. So I came in here sharing. So I guess I should be better at it by now. But thank you, chat, for and y'all can continue to share all you like. And those are good points and well received. Everybody has shared something amazing. We talk about relationship distance. Now, being in a long distance relationship, I find, a lot of people find it hard. They find it difficult. I think some people find it hard. Some people find it difficult. Some people are turned off at the thought of it. Some people, it works for some. Some people think it's real exciting because, some people feel like it gives you the freedom and the liberty to, as we say, have your cake and eat it too. Have somebody solid locked in, but you can still move freely about the cabin, otherwise, because, and that's for the unintegral people, as I will put it that way, who don't understand. I think it takes a lot of discipline when we talk about relationship distance, not distant relationships. Now, distant relationships, it's more along the lines of the long distance. But we know relationship distance is not just related to location and geography.
Nope.
Let's see, we got some more chats in the chatting. Let's see. Sorry. Okay. So Paris says, I've done several long distance relationships. I would not do another one. Okay. All right. Denisha says, are we talking about long distance relationships or distance within the relationship? I don't know, Denitra. Are we? What are we talking about? We know over here nothing is ever normal. It's never as surface as it seems. I guess we're going to find out. I'm talking to you in my moderator voice right now. So it could be interpreted differently. Yes, it could. Yes, it could. Absolutely. Let's see. What else did it? Because y'all are chatting. I love it. Paris says they are complicated, but it depends on personality types. All right. And Harlem Girl says you can be in a relationship with someone and still feel alone. Absolutely. I get relationship distance. See, y'all are thinking, right? You're starting to think about it now, right? Right? So in my mind's eye, the angle of this conversation, although, we never stick to just the ordinary, it goes with conversation goes, really is about not limiting yourself, number one, to location when it comes to relationships, but more importantly, how location is not as great of a issue in creating distance as we may think. Because you could be right across the street from someone and still have distance in the relationship. So I shared a clip with our squad earlier this week, right? And in the clip, the gentleman was talking about how, he wants a relationship, or the person that he's with, they're together. He's like, we're together and we do, we have us. He said, but I don't want to do everything with us. I don't want us to do everything together. I want to be able to go out with my friends. You go out with your friends, and then we can come together and we get together and we do our thing, and that's us. I want you to go, you might go to brunch with your girls. I might go play ball with my guys. And then maybe we don't get together that night, but maybe the next morning we'll hook up for breakfast and then we do us. And he's talking about everybody doing their own independent things, but having that time that come together to put you so that you have that time to cultivate your relationships together. And a lot of times we don't often think about that in relationship as a possibility. We think that this is my person. I got to be with you every minute of the day, all day, every day, all the time, all the weekends. It's what are we doing? Like there's never you time. There's never me time. And from this day on, it's us. In relationships, a lot of people, and I don't have statistics, so I'm trying not to be general, but, we have to use language. So, a lot of people get locked in to doing everything together. Not because they're thinking that the less time we spend together, the greater of a wedge that it is going to cause in our relationship. So I wanted us to talk about that angle of, do you think in a relationship that you have to do everything together? That doing all things together is what bonds you? And I'm a person like, I know we go through that, what is our love language? And, it's the quality time and and people are heavy on that. But I believe you got to give people room to breathe. I've come, and this is just Dawn talking, to the realization from what I've seen and experienced, and even some people that I have had the opportunity to share with, that when we come into a space where we have to spend all that time, like every waking moment together, and that works for some people, and it's great. I mean, this is not one size fits all. This is not one voice, one sound. So it's what your relationship is with that person and how you guys flow, how you vibe. Do you enjoy each other's company? I think that when relationships are not built, have a friendship built into them, we become very insecure and we want to be with that person all the time because it makes us feel like we have control. There's still some insecurities within us that we need to work on when we cannot let our person breathe. You need time to breathe. We all do. It's wonderful if you have someone that you can spend all that time with. It's a beautiful thing, but you also can't be afraid to allow people to have their own space. I don't think that's what creates distance in relationships. But when we talk about distant relationship distance, people are always thinking that it is difficult because geographically we are in different states. Sometimes you get closer to a person who is states away from you than you are with the person who may live right across the street. Because you actually get to know them. You actually get to see what spending time with them is like. Like you know, I prefer having that connection and that friendship within my relationship. That's what breaches the distance. So before Coach, because I see you stirring, let me read some of these comments here and then jump right on in after I finish this. So let me put my glasses on before Paris starts talking about me too. So Dr. Elaine says that is actually healthy, talking about being able to go out separate places and do separate things. It is actually healthy, and it doesn't take away from what y'all have from each other with each other. Paris says, I need me time. I don't like anyone all day, every day. That's funny. Denisha says, yes, I've seen that clip. I agree. Right? Okay, you did see it. Because I was like, that is so interesting and so good. Holland Girl said, many look for love within their person when true love comes within oneself. Amen. So creating space offers one to participate, offers one. I'm going to start. So creating space offers one time, I guess, to practice self-love. I had to slow myself down here. I got excited. I agree with that. Thank you, chatting. Paris says, I can't breathe. You won't be breathing either. And I don't want to go to jail. You know what, Paris? At least you know yourself, Paris. I'm like, I like spending time with my person. If you are my person, we talk all the time. For me, I need that. I need engagement. I need to be able, but I have to like you. It can't just be that overwhelming love, like we have, love at first sight, and it's all those butterflies at the beginning of a relationship, and you feeling, all of that, because when the euphoria of that moment wears off, and then I start getting to know you, and then I'm finally like, oh, I love you, but I really don't like you. Like, I don't like your character. You don't have, I mean, have you ever been there? I know I've been there, but I like to spend that time with my person. I love, that, all the girls laughing. I love being able to spend that time, and enjoy your company. Hollow Girl said, too much of anything is not good. True. I just feel like we cannot be overbearing in it. And I think that men start to feel trapped and claustrophobic because I think more women become clingy like that. It's a difference in me wanting to be in your space and be, up underneath you. I think, and a difference in being kind of clingy. I hope I'm saying that right. Dr. E says we have to be friends. Come on, Coach Theo. What is your take? What do you think?
I mean, I agree with Dr. Elaine that it is actually healthy, but I literally I couldn't be up underneath someone all the time. And I do like spending time with a mate when I'm in a relationship, but like all the time is too much because I definitely need like quiet time. I need my own time. Like I need to be with someone that we could be in the same house in different rooms and we good, right? We could be sitting on the same couch and we good, right? But like, and I will say also, I learned from one of the best relationships in the world, like my aunt and uncle who were married to for 67 years, like they were literally to death do you part, right? And I watched them like do stuff. They bowled together, but then they did their separate things. They went on vacation together. They did their separate things, right? Like it was a healthy relationship. They were friends, right? They could sit and have a conversation, but like I said, She could be in the kitchen, he could be in the living room, and it's all good, right? But I can't be up underneath somebody like 24 hours, 7 days a week, and like all the time. You need your space to breathe, to digest. Like I literally, when I start dating someone, I'm like, I want to make sure they have friends, right? Because I do. Like I have a sister group where we literally go on girls trips like once every year, right? Like we do a girl trip. So you got to be cool and okay with the fact that I might be saying to you, me and my girls are going here, right? And I'll see you when I get back, right? And the same for him, right? You know, I think it has to be a level of maturity where you're okay with your partner doing things with their friends or doing things by themselves and not be so clingy and stressed out about it. Because, I mean, at some point, when do you even get to miss the person? Like, and I love talk. Like, I definitely want to talk to you every day, right? Like, I want to check in. Let's talk. We have a conversation. You good? I'm good. How's your day going? Whatever. But I don't need to be up underneath you every single second.
Okay.
But I do know people like that. Like literally, like they like when you see them, you see their mate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you know, I don't think that it's always to each his own. You know, it's always a matter of what your capacity is, and it's always a matter of I always say how you're wired. You know, I could say in my younger days, like that would drive me nuts, you know. And on the other hand, also because I just would be very busy, you know. I think when you don't have other outside things going on in your life, then we can use a person to fill their space in those gaps. It can happen. Not that that's always the case, but it definitely can happen. Distance in relationships is not as bad as everyone may think. You know, it does take maturity, but it also takes a level of maturity to be able to be in a relationship where you do spend that much quality time, you know, with your person. I think the friendship is so important because we have girlfriends and guys to guy friends who you could be with all day, every day, talk on the phone all day, every day, see them, you know, you talk in the morning, you talk through work, you talk when you get off, you know, then you go have drinks or you go have dinner and everybody go home and then you talk and then you do it all again the next day. You know, we cycle this, you know, the people that you just see all the time. So why is it that when it comes to a relationship, that can be considered taboo, but we do it with our friends? You know, that's food for thought. Let me just read some comments, you know, because it's just funny how like it's the same action, but we kind of shun one and celebrate the other. Hold on, let me just read these comments. Let's see. Paris says, I've never been called clingy, but have dated men who were. I need you to be secure in yourself. I'm just saying. All right, so let me put this out here too with that, Paris. I love that. I love the comment. And it said, you know, we're digging into these thoughts now. So is a person being clingy necessarily a bad thing? And when does it go from me just loving to be in your presence and enjoying your company to clingy? Because I think there's a difference. Because there's some people like, I just want to be with you all day long. My person, I just want to be with you all day long, you know, and spend that time. Like, it's not that I don't want to talk to nobody else, but your priority. If other things come up throughout the day, you know, and okay, you know, honey, I'm gonna call you back. Okay, go do your thing, or whatever, you know. I think it becomes clingy when you become the center that they don't do nothing else. You know, when you're neglecting all the other priorities in your life, like you don't pay no attention to your kids, you know, you don't take care of the dog, you know, you left your mama at the doctor's office, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like when people become consumed with you in it, or we become consumed with a person in an unhealthy way, I think that's when it becomes clingy and it's unhealthy. But I don't think that there's anything wrong with finding your person and wanting to spend that time, because isn't that what it's about at the end of the day? Like you said, Theo, you can be in the same house with your person. I just want to be in your presence, because you calm my nervous system. You are where I get my replenished energy from. You are where I feel safest at. So I just wanted to think about that. I see you stirring, Coach. I'm gonna get through these comments because
I'm looking at some of the comments and I'm like,
okay. Then Harlem Girl says, I've been in a relationship like that before, and it lasted for 2 years. But after a while, I started getting literally nauseous just being around him. Oh God. Okay. All right. Okay. That's pretty bad when you start having a physical reaction to it.
That's not good.
I don't want to touch this topic. Oh, Clay, come. It's safe. It's safe. I promise you, it's safe. We just talking. Paris says, or we need other couples so you can hang with the guys and I can slip away. Clay says, I'm listening. Let's see. Oh, Vaughn, Mr. Invisible is in the building. He says, blessings all. The L's are in there so that everybody can catch one. What's up, my nemesis? My iron that sharpens iron. We be going in on conversations. Paris says, why, Clay? Please elaborate. Clay, yeah, you can share. Please do. You're free to. Listen, we talking. We trying to help people. We have a conversation. That doesn't necessarily mean all the thoughts, feelings, views, and opinions. No one's taking anything personal today, or tomorrow. Denisha says, for me, it's about making my time I spend with my partner quality, and having balance, and having healthy outlets and hobbies and aspirations. Big Clay says, it's something I want to say, but I won't. Please say it, Clay. Come on, share. We have a conversation. Dr. E said, maybe because it requires more vulnerability, unlike your regular friends. She was responding to, why is it okay? Like we can spend that time with our friends every day, day in, day out, all day, 24 hours a day. But when it comes to our partner, now it's different. It's the same thing. Paris says, okay, Miss Dawn, you have a point. But most of my girlfriends are like me too. We need space. Okay. I'm like, but there's nothing wrong with having space. But there's also nothing wrong with spending that time with your person. Like, I just feel like if I can do it with my girlfriends, it shouldn't be a problem if I do it with my man. And then why are we deemed, clingy or, come up for air, y'all, or whatever? Like, do your girlfriends say come up for air? No, we be quick to before we even finish the first plan, we into making the next plan. If I choose to spend that kind of time with my man, then why is that seen as differently? But like Dr. E said, maybe because it requires more vulnerability. Unless, unlike your regular friends. Maybe so. And if you're not willing to have that kind of vulnerability with that person, then, maybe you need to think about, how much vulnerability are you willing to have with a person? How much space, how much do you want or give? Paris says, oh my God, he leaves his mama. That's a mess. I'm just saying, that can be a bit much. It can be a bit much sometimes. Paris says, dang, Harlem Girl, laughing at her comment. And Hunger says that part I got nauseous. Like that's serious. That's a serious thing. Clay says not afraid, just don't want to offend anyone. Okay. But feel free. No one's gonna. We're here have a conversation. Your point on what you're sharing, it may just help somebody. It might help someone look at something a little differently. Like I said, when I was younger, that may have been an issue. Now that I'm older, I like being with my person every day. I want to spend as much time with them as I can. I love engaging in conversation. I like how we connect. I like what we do. I love being able to experience different things and have the conversations that make me think differently, and again, I think it becomes to a point of clingy when you are neglecting all the other things, that you need to do. Like they just don't get done. There has to be balance. And if you're able to juggle that, then fine. And then also I think sometimes maybe if you don't enjoy being with a person like that, then maybe that's not your person. Just my thoughts. What say you, Coach Steve?
First, I'm going to say, Big Clay, embrace some Justin energy right now and just
oh Lord,
just say whatever.
Justin would have rifted apart by now. He wouldn't even have waited his turn.
Say. No, I was gonna say honestly, most people are gonna probably be like, "Wow." I am probably the same with my friends. I can't really be around anybody, friends, relationships, whatever. I definitely am a person that needs my space, right? I need time to just sit, think, be alone. So it's not even like I would operate differently with my friends than I would operate differently with a mate, right? Like I'm gonna spend when I put it like this, when I spend time with you, it's always gonna be quality time, right? I'm not gonna be, like you're gonna be the focus of my attention, right? When I'm with you. But when I need my time away, I need my time away, right? So, but I definitely am a person that, I like when I'm in a relationship, I like spending time with the person. So definitely we're going to be doing stuff. We're planning stuff. We're talking, we're going places, but I also need you to have your own like activities, right? And your own interests. Right? Like I need you to be okay with me when I'm like, yo, I just might need a half an hour, right? To go sit in a corner somewhere, right? I just need someone that understands that.
Okay, I like how you give the clarity to that, because I was going to say, when you're married, what do you think is happening? Like you're going to be in the same house with the person all the time. You wake up together, you go to bed together, you have breakfast together. You may go to work in separate places, and it's not to say that you have to spend every waking minute of the day. But I think that if we're going to talk about like from the perspective, and we'll switch back and forth, of being in long distance relationships or relationships with people who are heavily plated with their activities, who don't have a lot of time, who you may not have a lot of access to, you got to find those pockets and those spaces to be able to spend time with them. Now, if they're too busy, then we complain that they don't have enough time for us, But then when they want to spend all that time with us, we complain saying, I need some space.
Yeah, but I think there has to be a balance, right? So, and I think that depends on the people in the relationship, right? You have to establish what that looks like, right?
Okay. I can be. I was just about to. That was going to be the balance of my statement. Was going to be about. You have to find that balance, and you have to make up your mind. Like, do you want to spend time, or you don't want to spend time? How much time do you want to spend, or how much time you don't want to spend? And sometimes maybe that will change from dating to when you get married, because in dating, you may not be with each other. You may not. So that's.
I mean, but I think it is cyclical, right? Because when you first meet somebody, right, you're probably spending a lot of time with them. You're getting to know them. You guys are doing things, and then as a married couple, there are probably times when you're spending a lot of time with your mate, and then there are probably times when you each have something going on and you're not spending as much time, right? But I think the important thing is that there's always some type of communication, and there's always a check-in, right? So it doesn't become a point where the lack of time that you might be spending turns into something else. if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. It does. And I think again that comes with communication and balance, you know. And I don't think it's a problem until if you get upset because the person you're with has to go tend to something else, so they can't give you like all of that time, then I think that's an issue. You have to wonder why, what's happening with you, that you're like, you may have other things to do. It's not that I don't want to be with you, and this is just a general conversation,
Yeah.
Just to get us thinking about how we're reacting and how we're responding in relationships when it comes to distance, because you may get an attitude because your partner has to go handle something else, and then you're creating distance between you and your partner because now you're mad. You feel rejected. Yeah. And we shouldn't feel rejected. It's not a rejection. It's just I have to switch priorities for a time, and I come back to center, which is you, and so I think that we have to think of these things because these are things that do create distance in relationships unnecessarily sometimes, and it's a small thing that requires understanding, and we can turn it into something major, and it doesn't have to be. So exactly. Denitra said it can be straining if you're required to be in the presence of your person every day. And I can receive that, but again, I go back to my premises. So what do you do when you're married? You're in the presence of your person every day. I married you because I enjoy you that much, amongst other things. And I know I want to come home to you. I want to wake up to you. This is, that's, so are we not ready to be married, or are we not ready to be married to that person? I just think these are things that, we got to kind of consider. I'm just throwing stuff out there. She says some people don't even like each other for real, so they need that space. So that's true. COVID proved that. COVID proved that you had no choice. There was no distractions. There was nothing. It was just me and you. You found out whether you really liked the person that you loved. Big Clay says it's never an all day with your person. Someone is working. That's true. Mm-hmm. That is true. It's never all day because there are times when, you may be working. So, yeah, you have to pause. You have other things. I do all day. I'm just saying. That's just, I'm just saying. Well, Paris says, y'all know I'm praying on being married and not having separate homes. A few people have checked me on my point of view, but I still think it could work. I'm just saying, that's a valid point, Paris. And again, it's not one size fits all. You have to find what works for you. But the key is making sure what works for you does not create distance in the relationship. Don't let it be. If you know that, you can get married and you are living in two different states. I know for me, I could do it for a moment, depending if that's what we have to do. But I know me. And I know at some point, we can do the back and forth because everybody's handling their business and doing whatever they need to do. But I know for me, at some point, I'm going to want to be there we're married. I'm going to want to be with my husband. I'm going to want to be a wife to my husband regularly. If we have to do it intermittently and we understand that, and everybody's cool with that, then that's how we handle it. But at some point, I don't know what that point would be. I'd be like, yeah, I don't do this no more. I need to come home, or you need to come home, or we need to figure out where home is, but if that works for you, that's cool. And I know some people have done that, who do that.
I think, and I've heard a lot of people talk about that recently, and I think it's what works for you.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, but why do we let me read Big Clay's comment too first. He says, I think a lot of people, men and women that are single, love to have their freedom. And that's why they're not wanting to spend that time with that person. Good point. So does that mean, let's just think about it. Like, does that mean, does that mean that that's not the person for you, in that situation? If you're not wanting to spend that time with that person, then should you be, this is just Dawn speaking in my thoughts, the questions that come across my mind. If that were me, I would start thinking, okay, then is this the person for me? Or am I just passing time by? Am I really ready to be in a relationship? Or am I just not ready to be in a relationship with this person? You know, I just think that, you know, we have to become very honest with ourselves. And like Coach Theo said, find what works best for you, but be honest about it. And I think we're not always honest about it. We try to convince ourselves sometimes because we don't want to lose the person that we're with, or we don't want to be by ourselves. But that can't be a good enough reason for us to stay in or create that type of dynamic, because it's just prolonging the inevitable. Because at some point, go ahead.
No, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, like, you know, honestly, for me, it really is. And you know, you guys have heard me say this before. People need to determine what's the rules of engagement, right? How are we doing this thing? How we gonna live this out, right? And
Right.
if it is a situation where it's a long distance relationship, there has to be a clear, honest, open discussion of, are we doing this temporarily? Is this something we're doing permanently? Is this because you need to find a job in this state, or we need to figure out where we want to live, right? But it can't be this haphazard, we're going to figure it out as we go along.
Right. There has to be a plan.
There has to be a plan.
Has to be a plan.
And there has to be a plan with also the realization that there are times that you might have a well thought out plan and something changes that plan, right? But you guys have to be really, you know, whoever you're in a relationship with, those lines of communication have to be open, they have to be clear, and they have to be honest.
And that honest part can be very difficult. And when honesty is not present, those lines are not clear. You know, and that plan is already doomed to fail because the foundation of it is not built properly, you know. So that's a great point, Clay. Let's see, Denitra said, once I got married and had children, we barely have any time to spend, so quality time is a must. Agreed. That is, you know, because again, as the dynamics of life and your relationship change, so will your time. You know, your time changes, and that's a real thing. Like, you can't help it. You know, and that quality time is a must. Sometimes you don't even have it. Sometimes all y'all can do is fall asleep together. But find that time to fall asleep together. You know, if you're checking in with each other as you're dozing off, check in. But it is a must, because kids will cause distance in a relationship, because again, your priorities are changing, your schedules are changing. You may not be able to have date night like you typically would. Date night may have to be from going out every Tuesday night to let's have a cup of coffee before we go to bed together. You know, you in the shower, I'm gonna sit on the toilet while, you know, we gonna talk or something. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta, if that's what you gotta do, that's what you got to do. I think, you know, no matter what, find that time, even if it's 15 minutes of quality time, just to decompress, because you need it. Because when you don't have it, it builds up that resentment, and you're going to be frustrated with each other and not even really know why. And it's because you're missing that connection. There's nothing worse than living in the same house with somebody and there is major distance, you know. So that's a good point. That's what we're doing. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. Okay. Big Clay says, take the leap. Yeah. All right. We are learning to leap, y'all. You learn to leap. I'm He said, do it. Okay. I'm doing it. We're getting there. Denitra said, I could do it temporarily with the idea we have to be in the presence of each other every day. One day, if there are circumstances where we can't be together, you know, there might be a time. Right. I think when it makes sense, when there's a reason, you know, you can accept it more. You're willing to work through it, because then Coach Theo said, you have a plan. You know, does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. I mean,
And
I actually knew someone that, her and, as her and her husband, well, before they got married, used to have a regular date night, right? Like, they would spend time together, but they definitely had a night where it was like, this is our time, no matter what, right? And when they got married, they continued that, right? So it's like, if every Friday was the night they had a date, they continued that, whether it was going out, whether it was being in, the house or whatever. And so I think people need to establish that, because there's no rule, there's no one rule for
right.
anybody, right? Because it all depends on the individuals and the dynamics. But I think a couple of people have already said it, right? In order for you to even want to spend time with someone, you have to like the person. You have to be friends, right? Like, if you're not friends and you don't like the person, and then it's not gonna work. How could you be up underneath somebody all the time that you don't like?
Right. But we love them, though. But we saying, but I love you, but I just don't want to be with you. Like that
Yeah,
is
that's
so
how
wild to me. But I get it, because I've been there. It's like, yeah, I love you. And I don't even love you. I love how you make me feel. I love how the moment, I realize that that's what it is. I love how being with you makes me feel, but I do not like you. At the core of who you're, as crazy as that sounds, it's so bipolar. But we do it so often, and I love what you said about, about the date night and being consistent. Now, with that, I would just say, consider what happened that other things took the place of that date night. Why did we switch that priority? Because everything else that is going on can still go on around. Don't sacrifice your date night, because it's the one thing that keeps you together. That makes sure that any distance that was created during the week, now you have the opportunity to seal that gap, because you need each other. And again, it has nothing to do with location.
Yeah.
We're saying we can't do long distance relationships. You can if you want to.
Mhm.
I'm a hands-on person.
But you also have to get to the point, right, where you guys are able to establish a set time to check in,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think that's what has happened in some relationships as well, where we just don't take the time to check in with each other, right? To see your headspace, right? And I
Yeah.
honestly have been thinking about that a lot, because I literally been working on this program and I'm about to launch, right? It's called the alignment audit, right? And I really feel like there are spaces and times in our lives where we are out of alignment, and we don't take the
Mm-hmm.
time to sit back and do exactly what you just said, right? There needs to be an awareness of why you are in the space that you are in, right? So when you start seeing
Mm-hmm.
that dynamic in a relationship changing, right? Whatever it is, work, friendships, intimate relationships, right? You need to be able to take some time to sit and be like, okay, what's happening that I'm not showing up, or we're not showing up the way we used to, right?
For
And I think that's something that couples probably need to start establishing, right? Is a regular check-in time, right?
mm-hmm.
Every Sunday we're gonna sit down, like you said, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna start our day with some coffee or some tea, and we each gonna sit down and say, we're gonna check in. How you doing? What's going on? Right? We haven't been connecting like we used to. What's happening, right? Because when you're not aware, you become misaligned.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it is key. It's key. Like, and it falls apart because we let it fall apart.
Yeah.
And you have to make it apart. The kids can wait. They'll be all right. Trust me. They be okay. It's not urgent. Mama can wait. She's all right. She waited this long. Sometimes the job can wait. You have to make sure that your person still feels like the priority, that we establish that we are. It is so very key.
Yeah.
And that time, whatever you're doing, make continue to make it a priority. Big Clay says a nap date. Yeah, listen.
The best kind of dates. Let's just lay in the bed and watch TV all day long, and we sleeping off and on.
Let's go. Let's go. That's my favorite kind of date. Nap date. I can't wait for my next nap date. I can't wait. Paris says, I want to be on the same property, and then y'all, trouble is in the building. Yes, sir. Paris says, I want to be on the same property, 2 different houses, or like Sarah Jessica Parker and her husband. They bought adjoining twin homes, and the dinner table is in the middle. I thought it's genius. Hey, listen, if you got it like SJP,
Sarah Jessica Parker, that I could buy 2 townhomes adjoining.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, hey, we here for it. We are here for it. The nap date is coming though. The nap date is absolutely necessary.
Those are some of the best quality time.
Now I'm gonna say, now when I suggested a nap date, you know, as a date, it was a little bit foreign to, you know, to when I mentioned it. It was a little bit foreign. I'm just saying. So, you know, when people start to, you know, grasp onto the concept, it makes a difference. Now, nap with the person you like. Just don't go, you know, napping all willy-nilly. You can't do that.
But I was going to say, all of this stuff we're talking about, it works when you actually like the person. Because some people intentionally don't want to spend time.
Right.
Right.
If I intentionally don't want to be with you, there's no need for, we ain't taking no nap, because you're going to take a nap and wake up by yourself. That's what's going to happen, because I'm going to be out. So look, guys, trouble is in the building. He's late, but he's here. You know him. You love him. He is the, let me see, how we were certified life coach, Mr. Courageous Vulnerability, Mr. Grounded Tree Hugger, Beekeeper, Wasp Killer, Vermin Fighter, all of the things. He's, you know, like one of the X-Men. Y'all know him. He's a dynamic poet, master thinker. I believe he's borderline genius, and we're trying to push him over to the other edge to continue blowing people's mind. What's good, AJW? The poet is in the building.
And he about to blow up and forget us. He gonna be like, we knew him when.
Right. Thursday. Thursday no more. He ain't got Thursday on his calendar.
Y'all don't never got to worry about that with me. I don't like attention that much. So I told somebody today, I don't want to be a celebrity, because the first time somebody says something out of pocket, I'm gonna make a mistake. I'm talking about immediately. Yeah, no, I'm not good celebrity material. I want the money. I don't want the attention. Lady, did you say something to the effect of you like the way somebody make you feel, but you don't like them?
Yes, yeah, I did.
I think
Can you expound on that a bit? Because I think I've experienced that before, and I didn't know what that was. I think I've been a part of that equation, and not the part where you. I wasn't the one that
you liked the way the person made you feel, but you didn't like them?
No, I think yeah, it was the opposite. I think that's what I was a part of.
Oh, okay.
And if that if I would like her to expound on that a bit, so I can know, that way I know for certain even more that I'm done dating. I'm gonna be by myself for the rest of my life.
No, you can't be done dating, brother. You can't be done dating. because of one encounter.
Listen, Theo and I have a bunch of applications and screening processes that we are waiting to exercise. So you cannot not date until we have had the opportunity to use our tools that we have been waiting so graciously to use. So you got to do.
Can I date once get my credit score where I want it to be?
Yes, because that will put you in a different bucket. You can. We give you a little time. You almost there. Right. You got 3 points to go. Just pay your bills 5 days early and add $5 more on it next month, and you'll be there. So we could get you straight for the summer.
You good?
It's just
I
that
want I want an 800.
Ones too that just in it for the money.
you're 3 points away. You're 3 points away. But let
Well,
me.
I'm not far, but I ain't 3 points away. I'm almost at 800.
We reaching the three. We reaching for three. We believe in God for three. I see
I
3 points.
I got 3 digits in my credit score.
You're on your way.
It's a
Wait,
start.
let me hit these comments first before I expound on what you asked about. We're talking about relationship distance, not so much distance relationship or long distance dating, but we're talking about the distances that are created in relationships because of the need to either do everything together or the lack thereof. Sometimes we think that we have to do everything together all the time, but sometimes that it can create some issues in between. But let's read these comments here. Let's see. Okay, so Trouble is here. He's late, but he's here. We're just glad he's in the building. Denisha says, yep, agree with Theo about having a plan and open communication and trust. Absolutely. Dr. E says, listen, we too old to wait too long. Come on, sis, because we over this 50 and 5. Okay, we pushing the 6, close to the 6-0. Coach Steele will be there shortly.
19 days.
Coach Steele will be there shortly. She's gonna show us what the new 6-0 looks like. Okay. I'm 3 years away from the 6-0, so I'm gonna catch up right behind her. But listen, Dr. E said it. Listen, we too old to wait too long. Yeah, I ain't got that kind of time. We better enjoy the rest of the life while we can move and think independently. Girl, you never said a word. You never said a word. Paris says date night can keep you grounded. Absolutely. It is very, very necessary to have date night. It does keep you grounded. It brings you back to center. I truly believe that. It absolutely brings you back to center. Big Clay says, I love you. Nap date soon. Absolutely. Get it on the calendar. Love you too. Absolutely. It's going to be the best nap dates ever. Denitra said, I would love to have one home, my room, his room, and our bedroom. You know what? That's right. Because look at again, who said that the distance has to be far?
Exactly.
Who says
it could be right in that same house?
Right, be creative. Right, he has his space. Men have their man caves. We have our she sheds, and like you said, and we have our bedroom. For me, my bedroom is my sanctuary. It's like it's our sacred place and space. So can't be nothing work related in the bedroom. Can't be nothing task related in the bedroom, because it's where we go to reset. It's where you go to reconnect. It's where you go to realign. Paris said, wow, AJ has that many titles. But yes, he does. He has a few more. I just figured, he was already late, so I didn't want to prolong. Because let him see. Denisha said, don't be napping all willy-nilly. Girl.
I was gonna say it's not 8:30 yet. Then you just I can't say that.
It's close. It's 8:10 in 20 minutes. We can revisit this comment in 20 minutes, Denisha. Yeah. I'm just
because there's some other stuff happening during the napping, but we're gonna just leave that.
Well, you're resting for a reason. You're resting for a reason. Yeah, you might be resting for. Okay, it's not 8:30. I'm dial it back. I'm a dial it back, because y'all know I live on the left, so my left goes left. That's what happens. Denisha says, as long as your credit don't start with the 3, you'll be fine, AJ. That part, because then we got to pray and have a GoFundMe for him as well. Oh shucks, it's the time. It's the time. Yes.
Start with a 3.
She said, as long as it don't start with a 3, you'll be fine.
It don't start with a 3.
Then
it's okay to have a 3 in it. It just can't be the first number.
Yeah.
Paris said, I'm going to give you a minute to think about it. Paris said, Dr. E, you have a point. Paris said, I'm here for that too, Denitra. Multiple rooms. There's more in my budget. That listen, you got to be creative with it. If you're really trying to have this relationship and hold on to the person that you value and make sure that y'all stay connected, yeah, you got to be creative. You
Different
know,
rooms?
No, different rooms. Like you
he
have
has
your
his room, she has her room, and y'all have your room.
room. So like
So the individuals still have their space. Everyone has their space because everyone does need time to,
Ain't no space.
to. What you mean?
Ain't no space.
I would tell you, like, I'm really intentional about, quality time and spending time to the point where I check in with everybody, because especially in this day and age, right? Like literally, me and my cousin, we don't talk all the time, but we will just pick up the phone and it's just a check-in, right? We have regular check-ins. We talking once a month.
I'm going to the bathroom
We
with me.
schedule. One of my friends, we schedule
Really?
once a month a Zoom call, right, to check in, right?
Okay.
And so I think you do the same thing in relationships. Like it could be in the morning, it could be at night, during the day, but there's no reason for you not to find time to check in with your person if you're in a relationship.
All the time.
Unless you're in a relationship by yourself. Now, to me, okay, because
unless you're in a relationship where you're in a relationship but you're by yourself, right? Like, because there are relationships like that where when you're in a relationship but you're still lonely. And I think somebody said that earlier.
Yeah, and that's horrible. That is hard to me. Then I'm like, why are you here? If I gotta be lonely in a relationship, then I will be in relationship with myself. I don't need company in making me feel lonely. No. And it has to be clear. The effort that you put in, the intentionality, if you can go a day, you're talking about relationship distance, but you love me and I'm your everything and all of the things, it sounds real good, but your energy, your effort, your actions, your intentionality, you do not show any of that, then in my mind's eye, we are not in a relationship. You are just expressing that you have a feeling, and it's a dollar in a dream, or hope in a prayer, whatever you want to call it. But I'm not going to engage in that. I'm not going to.
That's just like a situationship, right? Like I'm stuck. What is it? What is it? Like, but you know what? Just to be fair, some people are in those situations because they don't see a way out, right? And somebody has to maybe help them figure out, right, like how to get out, right? Because some people are there because they don't have a choice but to be there, right? For whatever the circumstance might be.
So
you not have a choice. Like, when do we have a choice? I mean, I get it. I was just playing devil's advocate, I think, because I mean, I've been in that space where it's the, I love you and care about, all the I love yous in the world and that. But if you love me but can go a day without checking, you don't know if I'm okay. You don't know if I'm alive or unalive. You don't know if I could be in the hospital. You don't know, I could be getting ready to have a breakdown. I could just need someone to bring me back to center. You don't know what my headspace is. You don't know if I ate. Where is the concern? Like, if you can go a day without checking on me, contacting me, then you can live without me. Because that, for me, is just teaching me how to live without you. And then you can't come back 8 to 10 business days later and talking about, hey, I love you. Well, that kind of love for me is love that I don't need. I prefer not to engage in it. Elanya Vincent once said, you can't control how she said, you can't control how a person loves you or how they offer love to you. You can decide if you want to partner in that. It's your choice on how you decide you want to. So if you decide this is what you want to engage in and you want to be a part of, that's your choice. I can't help how you present your love to me, but I can decide if that's what I want to be a part of. Yeah. And for me, I'm like, that's not that does not make me feel loved. You know, there's another saying that says, you know, you're loved when you feel loved. And when you feel love, that's where you find it at. And when you find it there, that's where you lay your roots. And for me, at this big old age, like Dr. E said, I ain't got time, you know, for you to be, you know, it's not a hit or miss. It's not trial or error. I don't have time to be a test dummy. We can't do all that. I don't have that.
But let's think about it from the space of someone that's not where we're at, right? Where we've been on a healing journey, right? We've kind of figured some things out. But let's think about the person that doesn't have the self-worth or the self-esteem or or grew up watching an unhealthy relationship that they now think is something normal, right? Those are the people I'm talking about. That everybody always has a choice. Everybody definitely always has a choice. But there are some people that don't even realize that because it hasn't connected because of the trauma that they have experienced, right? Or what they have grown up seeing as a healthy relationship, they now have adopted as it's healthy, right? And so there some people need for some of us to reach back and help them see that they are worthy of more than what they are settling for or staying in.
I can agree with that because that's a transition that I went through over the last, I would say honestly, it would be honest. It would be the last 10 years. I came out of a cycle, but it literally took me these last 10 years to now get to myself. And I had to unlearn the thought of what I felt I was not deserving of. And I had to learn how to embrace that you do deserve this. You do, you know, you are worth this. And it doesn't, if a person doesn't see your worth, doesn't mean that you're not worthy. If a person doesn't know how to handle your worth or fumble you, doesn't mean you're like, we take on that ownership like it's us. And I had to kind of, now I don't want to say trick my mind, but you get it for the lack of the term, you know. I had to trick my mind
because I've been there too, and that's why it resonates with me, right? Because I was the person that had to get to the point where, you don't have to keep settling for these knuckleheads, right? Or these relationships or whatever.
But you're women too. Women can be choice too.
Yeah, right. And same thing for men. So that's why it resonates with me, right? Because I'm not going to say I'm speaking for myself, but I'm sure there are many people that have been there. Like we had to get from that place of, I'm worth more than this. I don't have to just stay in this because of whatever the reason is, right? And so I do think like as we have these conversations, we have to remember that, what might be easy for some of us now because we've done the work. Other people are still trying to get to where we have gotten to and I'm still learning. I'm still growing. Yeah. Right? I'm still healing. So.
Yeah, I believe it's ongoing. Healing is that ongoing process. You never know how, and I said this before, you don't know how much of your work is really valid until you apply pressure on it. You don't know how healed the wound is until you put pressure on it. You break your ankle, you put it in the cast, they take the x-ray, they say it's good, and the bone is still merged, but you don't know the strength of that until you put pressure on it, until you learn how to walk all over again. And you got to go through it. And you're right, and you're absolutely right. And we've all been through that process in some way, shape, or form. So, we know that we're on different legs of the journey, Y'all know I'm not in my totally toxic phase, like AEW. But
and then there's this dude. Right?
Last year,
this dude that sends me these poems, right? That kind of
this dude, that dude, right? That swings you back into
you back to where you got.
It's a whole therapy session.
Yes.
I be having to go sit in the corner and talk to God all over again. Like I need God, like Holy Spirit, I need you to walk with me through this because. Like I didn't. Yeah, it's this guy. I don't know what his problem is, but
thinking.
Yeah, tell him don't send me that stuff.
He makes you heal when we have to. But you know what I realized about the guy that does that? He releases it so that he's free from it, But now here we go. Gotta be bound by our traumas. You know what I'm saying? Joe, he's an infector of freedom. He wants everybody to be free with him. The nerve of him. The nerve of him. Let me ask this question because I'm getting mad now. Juggling mommy says, if you are lonely,
because we getting all.
Yeah, because and it's almost 8:30. So we could get back to Denitra's question about the nap date all willy-nilly, because that's where I'm going. She says, Juggling Mommy says, if you are alone, is that a relation? If you are lonely, is that a relationship or association? I think some people do develop a relationship, a connection out of loneliness.
Yeah.
Because it serves them.
Yeah.
It's more than, I think it depends on what angle it is going up as. Because it can be an association if you are lonely and you connect only in those spurts. Like today I don't feel like being by myself. Let me find somebody to keep company with. I know I can call him for this, but when
maybe it's a convenience. Maybe it's
maybe
it's a convenience. Like
maybe
people together because it's convenient. I don't know. Like
I think that borderline trauma bonding for me.
Yeah, that's what
in many ways. That's a good question, Juggler. We're gonna have to. That's a whole show by itself.
That's a whole nother. Yeah, that's a good. We might need Juggling Mommy to come on to have that as a topic.
Yeah, man, because that's a good question. That's a really good question. It's something we need to think about. Harry said, did he say he's following his woman to the bathroom? Stalk much? I can't.
Yes, he did. He did say.
Listen, I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at you, Justin. I am not. You put your chair outside the door. Stand guard.
I won't be stank. I'm coming inside and sitting on the tub.
Lord Jesus. All right, listen, I ain't even mad at you being that close. Close to you. Girl. We ain't mad. Juggling Mommy says, unless it's at, a aggressive point or something safety related, you have a choice. And that's true. I mean, unless somebody's holding you hostage, and even then you still have choices. But more or less to Coach's point, it's about you recognizing it as an option, because sometimes we don't, because we're just stuck in our habit. But you're absolutely right. Paris says, hi, JG, how are you doing? Let's see. Demetrius said, dates and toilet dates are the new norm. Get it how you live, I guess. Listen, then nap dates is top tier. Toilet dates, I don't know if I want to share. I'll wait for you outside, but I'm just saying. Big Clay says, I was in a 17-year marriage and I felt alone maybe half the marriage. And that goes to show you that you can be in the distance. Marriage does not secure companionship. It may secure company, it may secure residency, but you can still feel very alone within a marriage. I've been there. It's just why I'm divorced. Like if I'm gonna be by myself, let me be by myself. And that's that's a long time. It's a long time, and it does happen. So marriage is not the cure for everything, and I think that's why it is again so important that you have the friendship as core, and that you continue to grow that. Make sure, like, I really have to like you, like the core of who you are. I have to like. Can we laugh? Can we talk? Can we have multiple conversations on everything? Can we touch different topics? Can we spend, do our conversations leave us to the point where, we fall asleep on the phone on a regular basis? Like do that. I'm just saying. I'm not saying anybody does that. I'm just saying it happens. But can we do that? Is that a thing? Is that a thing? Dr. E says, I want to like you that much that I want to watch you sleep.
Exactly.
Like we got all these options. You got video chat. You got, you can send auto clips. There's no reason not to connect with your person. Dr. E says, like money, the value is the value, but how we treat it still doesn't take away its value. Right. And that was earlier we were talking about, just because, a person may not see you for who you are, know how to handle you for what you are, but that is not a you thing. That's a them thing. Juggling says Justin is a certified clinger. We have to add that to his introduction, that he's a certified.
What is that? What is it? I don't know what it is.
Okay. I'm so loving here. Demetra says limerence versus love. That's it. Okay, Demetra, we're gonna have to. You're gonna be on this side of the wall in a minute. You're gonna be on this side of the wall. Paris says, for those who are married with kids, do you make time for date nights? I babysit for my friends because I think date night is important. I am not married any longer, but when I was married with a young child, we did try.
The kids go to bed at some point?
And do.
Right.
And do. So it was an attempt to do. I'm about to. Y'all already know. Is it 8:30?
You know what? It's crazy because I'm like Paris. I used to babysit for my friends, even for my single girlfriends. I would like, if they had to do something and run errands or whatever, I would like, oh, I got you, right? I would take PTO days to watch my friends' kids, so they could do whatever they.
I mean, we did, like, we had friends who would.
Yeah.
We did, we did make time for date. I think date night is important. Again, it doesn't mean you have to do something so great and grand. And sometimes date night is just chilling at home, just the two of you. Just create a special corner or a moment. Watch it. Well, put the movie on. Let the movie watch you. It's really just about finding that time to reconnect. Or don't turn anything on at all. Just be each other's focus. And even if it's just sitting there, just being quiet, like intimacy is not always sexual. It doesn't mean that, we gotta, listen, take advantage of, it's 8:30. All right. So take advantage of the moments when you
just sometimes you're just sitting on the couch, right? You're just chilling.
Oh, Justin put the glasses on. We know what that is. I'm just saying, you gotta make it what it is, but sometimes that intimacy is just sitting in the dark, just touching your skin, just hearing you breathe, just being close to you. You ain't gotta be doing nothing else other than that. I just want to be in your presence. I just want to absorb the essence of you, and vice versa. I don't want to hear no more voices. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to look at nothing. I just want to enjoy resetting myself. When you are with the person who grounds you, or you ground that person, your nervous system needs to be reset. I don't want nothing else interfering in that. I don't want to hear anything else but the sound of us. Let me see what else we got. Juggling Mommy says, yes, we do brunch. Okay, because Juggling Mommy's married. So yes, we do brunch and lunch dates. I like to eat early. At night, I want to do other things. Okay, come on.
Because
nighttime, make the nighttime count for the nighttime.
Sometimes it's, what, you putting the kids to bed and you putting on the shoes that don't actually touch the outside, right? And just, having a little fun.
Those are my favorite kind of shoes.
Right, Sometimes it's,
Yeah. So ladies, if you don't know, there are indoor shoes.
Yeah.
There's
Sometimes
some
it's just
shoes that are meant to
sometimes
be
it's putting
worn.
on a trench coat and showing up at the door.
Sometimes with the shoes that don't touch the floor. You know, they might touch the ceiling, but they don't touch the floor. I'm just saying. We just it's after 8:30. It's 8:32. We just trying to get some help to bridge the distance in relationships, y'all. I'm just okay. So Paris said, I don't know if y'all ready for it. Is it after dark? It's not after dark night? Okay. Uh all right. Paris says, I'm not going to lie. I had to look up limerence. Thank you for broadening my vocabulary. Saying that to Denitra. Yeah, it's after 8:30. She said, we also do business dates to check in. Those are my favorites. Oh,
Yes, see, that's cool.
that's a beautiful thing. Tara says, Coach, I love my peeps, but giving them my PTO, I'm not that nice.
Well, let me
Listen,
tell you,
I'd be like, look, you
I
can't.
used to have a lot of PTO, but also for me, it's usually a mental health day too. So, it's twofold. It gives me a mental health day, and I get to help out one of my girls.
Well, sometimes you can't find someone to have your own date night with if you keep watching everybody else's kids. Like, you be intentional, but I ain't mad at it. I'm grateful for the people who would watch my son while, I would be able to have that free time. But my date nights, well, my situation was up and down. So it wasn't always. Sometimes people would watch Jay just so that I could have a night. Like when he would go with his dad, it was like Wednesday nights. And that was my night to do absolutely nothing. I would normally just like grab some Chinese food on my way home. When I get in my house, sometimes I sat on my couch, didn't even turn my lights on. I ate Chinese food in the dark and fell asleep on the couch because I just needed that time, to reset. So it wasn't even my date night was with me. Denitra has provided us the explanation or definition of limerence. It's an involuntary state of intense romantic infatuation, obsession, and emotional dependency on another person. Okay.
All right.
And she said it. She put it. It was skipping over.
Okay.
So limerence is an involuntary state of intense romantic infatuation, obsession, and emotional dependency on another person. So we got to think about that as we go through these things. Good night, Dr. E. Yes, it is your bedtime. We already know. And thank you for being here.
Hung out longer than usual because it's past 8:00.
She did. Listen, y'all come on Monday nights. If you know, it'd be 7:59, and Dr. E be like, well, as we wrap it up on tonight, she don't play about the time, and I ain't mad at her about it. Keep it together. Paris says mental health for me does not include babies. Coach, you a good friend. I mean, it's it's what it is. It is what it is. But so Justin's question, because we have gone all around the universe, and I definitely want to get back to him, and I feel like he got something to share. He probably
something right now.
I would say he's probably writing a book right now.
I see him focus.
But the comment that I made about loving how a person makes me feel, but yet not liking them. It is a real thing. It does happen. And I think that I've learned that is actually a very selfish act, because I enjoy being in your presence for what you give and do for me, how I feel as how you presenting yourself to me. Yet in that, I don't like you enough to give me back to you. I'm not trying to really show up for you in that way. You know how you feel like something's off, and it's not the situation where maybe you met someone who might be still a little guarded about things, but they're working through that. Like, I like you, I trust you, I feel safe with you. It's just taking me a moment to let down my walls and work, to learn how to embrace this safe space. That's one thing. But I can absolutely love how you make me feel, because that's the attention being given towards me, but not like you as the person that you are. It's kind of the same thing of, I like what you do for me, not you, in short. And we know that happens. So when a person, I believe, is not reciprocal, if I'm not exchanging that energy for you, and it doesn't have to mirror it, I always say this, doesn't have to mirror it, but it should echo it. So it doesn't have to mirror it, and it's coming back to you the same way that you put it out. But just like the infinity symbol, it should echo what you've put out there. I should be making you feel the way you make me feel. You make me feel the way I need to feel, and I need to make you feel the way you need to feel. Whatever it is that makes you feel valuable, that feels wanted, that feels important and desired and seen, I need to be doing those things, because you surely are doing them for me, and I love that, and we have to become to a point of concern. Am I giving that back to you? I've learned that when I'm in a situationship or getting to know someone, that I'm not giving that back to you, then I don't really like you. And I've exited that, and I've stopped doing that because it's draining on both sides.
But I think I probably have been
in this. Add some clarity for you, Justin.
And I think I've probably been.
AJW, you sleeping down there?
No, it was an it was enlightening. I appreciate you for sharing.
But I think I've actually been where Justin thinks he's been, though, like where you're giving, like where I'm giving everything. Like I'm making the plans. I'm making sure we connect. I'm planning all the dates. I'm planning all the things. I'm just grasping. And they're there, right? Because they feel like they got to be there, but they're not really giving it back.
They're not present.
Right? Yeah, they're not present. You know what I'm saying? Like they're there, or they're like, oh yeah, I can do that. Where you're always the one that's trying to make the connection. That's what I've experienced, right? Where I'm always the one, like I'm always, I was always the one trying to make the connection, trying to make sure we're spending time, we're doing this, we're doing that, and like, they'll be like, sure. Right, I'll do that. Make the plan, sure. Like, but never being the one to initiate.
Right. Because I think that's when people are like, I'll go along for the ride. That's with the, ladies, we say this is this one-liner in these situations is, well, a girl got to eat. A man gets you out. And that you don't even really like him, but again, a girl gotta eat, so I'm going to be in attendance, but I will not be present. Exactly. I'm not going to be engaging, as if I was going out with someone who I thoroughly enjoy. I am excited. I'm reaching out. Can't stop thanking you throughout the day. Like I'm looking forward. Like I'll see you in 2 hours. Like I'm on my way. I'm down the block. Meet me at the parking lot. Those.
I just pulled up. I'm looking for a park.
Right. When you are checking in because you are excited to see that person. And that I feel like is the kind of energy that, we deserve and that you are looking for. And if it's not that, somebody could be having an off day, fine. But you can't be having an off life. Like that don't work out. If this is every time we go out and you are not enthusiastic about anything, if you're more excited about the event we're going to than you are about being with me, for me, that's a no-go. Because I wouldn't care what we're doing. Like we could have an ice pop on a park bench. Yeah. I just want to be with you. I just enjoy your company. I just, that's it, and when we don't get that, and a lot of people, when we don't get that, those are moments and things that create that distance in a relationship. But then you got to think, am I really in a relationship if I'm not getting what I need?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Juggling says, yes, there's a difference with means a meal ticket or something to pass time versus actually interest and excitement. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a difference, and we've got to know those differences. And sometimes some of us are just excited because the person said yes. We're all excited because we're looking forward to spending time with them. But are you as excited in spending time with me, and vice versa? Again, because again, y'all know me, I'll be transparent. I've been on dates with people like I can't fake stuff, so it's really hard for me. So I have to do like, I can be like, so how much time is this? So how long is dinner going to be? Because I know my meter cuts out at a certain point where I can't smile through it no more, and it just turns really bad, because I'm not good at faking it, and I will disengage in a heartbeat, and you will know it. You will absolutely know it. It'll be so clear. Because when I'm excited about you, you feel that. You will feel I'm intentional about how I show up for my person and making sure that they feel the love and energy, my appreciation, and in me wanting to honor them. Like, I'm honored to be in your presence. I'm happy to be here with you. I could sit here and listen to you talk all day. You could sing the ABCs. I'd be just as happy, and when you have that type of engagement,
I can listen to you breathe, right? And I'll be it's that right? That kind of feeling.
Yeah, so I feel like I like watching you fall asleep and seeing and hearing your breathing change and watch you rest. Like I enjoy that with my person. I'm like, I like that because to me, and especially with men to women, that lets me know that you feel safe with me, that you feel comfortable, that you're relaxed. And I don't really know how to give language to it, but for me, that creates a bond, I guess, even more so, because that's it's a space that we build, so, and when you continue to create those bonds, whatever the bond looks like for you, everybody might not be like, they'd be like, really, you just sit there and watch your person breathe? Like, really? Like, yeah. I do. I'm not stalking you. Like, you ain't gonna wake up to me looking in your eyeball or nothing like that. It's a part of the way that you show that to me, it's like, showing that you care. I want to make sure you're okay, and that you're resting. Like, things like that make a difference. But whatever your bonding, moment is, go for it, because those are the things that will avoid distance from being created in the relationship. We don't have to do everything together all the time, but should we do things together all the time, I'm not mad at it, because you're my person. You're who I actually want to be with every day. I could not hear from a million people and it would not make or break my day. But when I hear from you, my day actually shifts.
Mm-hmm. But I wonder if I've ever really experienced that, because I spent so much of my time, right, being in relationships because I was so in love with being in love, right? That I was probably convincing myself, like I was going along, right, because I just trying to hold on to the relationship. So and I was thinking about that as you were talking, because there was this one dude that, now that I'm on the other side of it, right, the healing part of it, where I realized that, he really was annoying, right? But I was like there for it because I was so in love with just being in the relationship, right? And so he just needed to be out all the time. And I was like, do we have to be out, just doing, like, just out, right? But I was going along with it because I was more in love with just being in a relationship than, really being with him. So, so now I'm kind of going through my Rolodex trying to figure out, have I ever really experienced?
Like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Maybe I just been being a little bit in love. So
it's important. It is like, to me, it is the greatest feeling in the world, to be able to really enjoy the person. And that's why for me, friendship is so important, in the relationship, because we know love covers a multitude of things, of sin, as we say in the Bible, as it says in the Bible, it covers a multitude of things. But in the real world, when I stop loving you, I need to be able to, for me, liking you is what can bring back to life the love for me. you know, and I know for some it may be like, it should be the other way around. I'm like, for me, you know, I have to like you because we love people for different reasons and for different things. And sometimes those things can change. So my love for you has to be rooted in our friendship, which our friendship has to be rooted in us liking each other and enjoying, because when I like you, I don't want any distance between us. I don't.
And
I
you
don't want
see,
anything to.
now again, I'm in my mental Rolodex because now I'm thinking about the dude that's where I just loved being in the company of this dude. Like whatever we were doing, right? Like we just have fun, right?
Because we get confused.
We could have just been sitting on my couch, no TV on, no mute, just laughing, joking with one another, right? And so yeah,
but you know, I find that we keep feeling like we have to choose between romance and friendship.
yeah, and we don't.
We don't. We don't. I am in such a season of all or nothing, and nothing is not an option. You give me choices, and I'm like, well, why can't we do them all? Like, what? The question shouldn't be which one do I want. The question is what we do it first. You know, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what do we? Why do we have
to have like these conversations, right? Because as we having this conversation, like I'm literally going through my mental Rolodex. I'm like, yo, yeah, this was the guy that, yeah, I felt that. Like I just wanted, like we just were friends, we were, you know, whatever. And then this was the one that I was like, damn, why did you stay there? Because he really was annoying. Right?
But it's because when we lead with the premise of romance, that we're looking for this romantic thing, we forget about friendship as the root of enjoying. The core of love is really enjoying a person. I need to enjoy you, who you are, just as you are. Like when we can be super silly, like, oh, I need to be able to be all of me and you be all of me. You know, Paris said, you know, they wake up with you in their eyeball while you playing Dawn. I promise you I'm reformed now, Paris. Okay. I don't have to. And if I'm in their eyeball, it's just because I want to make sure that they're still breathing, because, you know, people have sleep apnea. It could fall, you know, things, they stop breathing during the night. Paris, I'm a doctor on my days off, which is none of them. Jacqueline said, Coach Steele, we're going to unpack this together, sis.
We sure are, because listen, when I go on a date, y'all going, I'm going to come back and debrief.
Listen, we all going. When you go, we all going. We go set up a show and be like, I'm gonna need you to put your phone on, log in on your phone. We all her village. We need to make sure. She's good. Hey there, Lily. I'm just a girl. What you got to say? Because you down there mighty quiet. What's stirring in your mind?
Were you there all this
time? No, I'm just listening. I feel like Coach Steele right now.
What?
Not in terms of like like the distance thing. I'm joking. I don't need to go to the bathroom and everything like that with nobody. But when I finally do,
and told down if you want to go to the bathroom with your woman, you do that. Shame here.
No. I'm a miss her when she go to the bathroom, but I don't got the stomach just in case she lactose intolerant and had a milkshake. I need to still be able to see her as bae after that.
If I'm in the bathroom with you, we in the shower together.
That's a different situation.
Yeah.
Amen. Heaven. But nah, I've been in a situation where, like, if I'm with somebody, I'm a really like I believe in being intentional.
Yeah.
I've had to, even now I'm in the process of like really learning to be able to step back and look at me and say, bro, you deserve more than that. You know what I'm saying? Like I had a situation where a person I genuinely like, I was head over heels for this situation, and I believe in reciprocation. So I remember everything this got said, but it was a situation where I was talking and the person hung up on me, and then we had a conversation before,
By
and it was like, yeah, I
mistake?
don't want
Like they,
nobody. No, on purpose, on purpose.
oh.
Um, and
Oh yeah.
and if we had an agreement like we wouldn't do that, and that person hung up on me again, and as much as it hurt me, I ain't calling back, and at this point I ain't picking up no more, and it
Mm-mm-mm.
hurts, but I somewhere I have like I'm in a space where I got all these people around me now that is speaking life over me and seeing things in me that I can't see in myself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and so I'm literally in a situation where I was in a long distance relationship with somebody who I could see every day. And when it was a convenience, I was there. And every
Mm-hmm.
time the call, every time I would longing for the call so much that whenever it happened, I'm going. Like I'm a drive just to, just to be able to see. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Maybe not even spend time. And yeah, I can't do that no more. Yeah, I
Mm-mm.
can't do that no more. Like, and I'm not. I of course I'm not. I try my best not to be one of them guys to blame that. Um, act like that's every female. I know it's not. But when you said it, like the word structure just was like, whoa, that's a thing. Like that, what she just said, that it
Mm-hmm.
struck a chord with me. Of course, you already know it's certain things that maybe ain't all that deep, but I hear them that deep.
Mm-hmm.
So when
Hmm.
you said it, it struck, and I was like, that's what that is. And so yeah, I mean, I'm like I said, I'm still at that part of the conversation, if I'm being honest, because I'm processing a lot.
Okay.
I'm processing a lot because like, I just don't believe I tried. I guess even at 15 years old, I seen my parents go through something, and I kind of made a decision. Uh, at that point, I made a decision about in a particular area what kind of man I wanted to be,
Mm-hmm.
and so I had a phase where I behaved like a young man, and I was jumping around doing whatever,
Of
and
course.
then I kind of since I was like 21, 22 years old. I was just like, yo, I don't want to leave. I don't want to have a track record of hurt. And I started that around 21, 22 years old. Like I want if I'm going to invest time, I want to enjoy the person's time because y'all are women, so y'all could tell me this, but for me, my observation, it looks like there's a phase when a woman likes a man where whatever he's doing, it's amplified because she likes him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then something can happen, and no matter what he does, it's because that situation is no longer being amplified. He can buy the moon, and it'll be like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
so I'm
Yeah.
trying to understand that part because I always assume the blame for every situation I've ever been. Even though I tried to be good, I just feel like what, as a man, it was something I did, and I'm having to revisit those thoughts because you can't. There's gonna for me there's gonna come a place in a relationship where it's not going to be fun. Um, and in my mind as a man, like I kind of like honestly, I try to look and see her that way. I just want to be with you. I don't care where we go. You want me to plan a date? Tell me what kind of date you want planned, because it's for you. I'm getting what I want the second I pull up. I just want to be in your presence. I don't care about the restaurant. I don't care about the movie. I'm happy to be here with you. Like this is my reward. All that other stuff, you know what I'm saying? But then it just comes a time where, like y'all was saying, sitting in the living room, a nap date, spending time together
Mhm.
than not talking. Like I want to get to the place where we don't even need to conversate. You're here, and I'm satisfied with that. And so,
But I
yeah,
think you
it's
have to get to the point where you recognize that it is great for you to really just be like, like that's the prize for you, right? To be able to be with that person. But you want that person to have a heart that they see something in you that makes them want to give you more than just you're in my presence. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Right. And I think sometimes what happens, I'm not saying all the time, but there are some women that they see that. It's just like men know when they're dealing with a woman that doesn't have a lot of confidence, right? Or have low self-esteem, right? They see that, right? And then that they know how to kind of manipulate that, right? Women see the same thing in men. So they see when, this dude is all into me, right? I could do the minimum and
Yep.
get whatever I want from him, right? And
Yeah.
so now it's just you recognizing when you're dealing with that type of person. Because you'll
right.
know when you're dealing with that type of person by the way they are 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 loving on you, or the way they are showing attention to you, the way they're like the one that giving you back what you want. It won't be something that you would have to even yearn for or ask for, because they will automatically just want to do it.
Yeah. It's in how you show up for each other,
Yeah.
at the end of it. That's what it is. And, I just keep hearing my Angela's voice, when someone shows you who they are, believe them, believe them the first time and learn to be okay with believing in the first. Now, I could tell you right now, that whole hanging up,
Oh
let me,
yeah, that what I was gonna say. That number should be blocked and deleted.
first of all, I ain't even gonna block you. I'm not. Ain't no need for me to block you. You're not even worth me blocking you. I want you. I want it to ring 9,000 times. I want you to call me for 62. Yep. I want you to call me for 62 days straight because I want you to know that I am not answering you, because I make
Uh,
that very clear, because that's disrespect for
and
me.
that's
And I'm like, if you hang up the phone on me, I promise you, and if you ever get me to the point where I have to hang up on you, I will not call you back. And I don't want you to call me back. I don't want you to say sorry. I don't want. That's a one hit quitter for me, because it's taking us to a place where there's no more respect. So disrespect doesn't happen by chance.
yeah.
You don't mistakenly disrespect someone. You choose to. And so you made the choice. And I said this to my ex-husband once. I was like, you doing things and you're saying things, and I'm not spitting venom back out you. I said, and then you want to apologize. I don't need your apology. I said, and I don't even receive that. I said, because only one of two things is present here. And this is where people are not ready or accustomed or even thinking that you're going to call them on their nonsense and really stick to it, because I'm going to call you out on it, because we here now. It's simply this: you either meant what you said when you said it, or you said it intentionally to hurt me. Either way, neither of those two things can be present in the relationship, because you are now no longer safe for me. And this is what it's about: you being safe for me. And I can't subject myself to unsafety so that you can use me as a test dummy to see what boundaries. No, my friend, it's not okay. And if it cost you the relationship, well, then, hey, so be it. I hope you enjoyed it. Go be great. Go with God. Because there's just certain things you don't have to subject yourself
Yeah.
and make the excuse or the accommodation. And that's for all of us, for anybody. You
Exactly.
lost me by choice. You didn't even fumble me. You dropped me by choice,
Mhm. Yep.
because you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And when you made that choice, stand 10 toes down on it, because I'm gonna make sure you do on my end. You can call all you want. You can call. You can text. You will go unanswered. I will read it, and you'll still get no reply. Yep, I read it and have nothing to say.
Well, I am
Sitting
the
there
person
to
that most
get
people
tired.
don't like, because my phone stays on vibrate, and most of my text messages, the alert is off. So because I hate my phone dinging and ringing all day long. So I would probably never know that you call me back. What?
Yeah, it wouldn't even matter. I'm just saying we don't. We don't have to subject ourselves to so.
Form of respect. Do not hang up on me. That is like the worst form of respect.
We're not here to be trial and error for anybody.
No.
It's a point of being humane and mature, and being courteous as a person. So I get it. Let me read through these comments as we get ready to wrap up. Because we talk about this all night. I love it. Paris says every joke has some truth, and that's true. She said he is probably hiding toilet paper. You know what? I hope not, Justin, because toilet paper is expensive these days. I'm playing. Paper. Justin said, I see we have a circle of clingy coaches. It's okay. Yep.
No, I'm not clingy.
It's okay if we're not clingy. We're intentional with our affections. That's what it is. Justin says, Justin, next time you call me back, then hang up quick. Get that last click. I can't. This is what family does. Demetria says, I think we have to come to realize that we have not received what we desire. Once we think back and can say, I don't think I've ever got, quote unquote, that, it's disheartening. And that's true. But, hindsight is always 20/20. And then when you do see it, now walk in it going forward. Paris says, question, if someone is on the phone talking to you crazy, is it okay to hang up on them? Absolutely. You can choose.
I would usually say, I'm going to hang up now. And then I hang up.
I get people talking to me crazy every day, and I answer the phone. That's what I go to do. Answer the phone with crazy people talking crazy. And there are times when I'm like, okay, I'm going to disconnect this call now because I might give you a fair warning.
Yeah.
If you're talking crazy to me, outside of, business, you're talking crazy. Absolutely. Like, listen, I'm going to hang up because it's what's best for both of us. Because the next thing I'll be ready to do is come through the phone. And so because it's going to trip you out when you see me coming through your phone, I'm going to let this, it's easier if I just hang out. Paris says, yes, I do tell them first. Yeah, and I mean that. And when I'm done with that, I'm done with it. I'm going to show you a respect and a grace and a courtesy that you're not giving to me. Because I'm just like, I know you're not in your right mind because you're talking crazy right now. So I'm like, you must have forgot who you was talking to because I'm not talking to you like that. And I'm trying not to go there. I'm trying to maintain my salvation, keep Jesus off the cross, and make God happy. That's what I'm trying to do. Paris says, you disrespect me. I give you a few moments to pull yourself together, but you keep losing your mind. I might lose my grip on my phone. No, I'm not going to. You're so kind. Yeah, no. The few moments to get yourself together was before you lost your mind. Exactly. So at this point, I'm not going to give you a few moments to pull yourself together. I'm going to give you 3 seconds I'm going to find it for you. That's what I'm going to do. But the beautiful thing is, in relationships, we're going to learn to do the things that we need to do to keep the distance from not even occurring, not coming into our spaces. Why? Because we are going to choose better the people that we are choosing to partner with. I have decided that I will no longer take less. I am learning something that Justin said myself in present day time. The fact that you said, whatever the date is, tell me what kind of date you want, and I'll plan it because you said you already got what you want the minute you pulled up. That is a beautiful thing. And I am learning in present time how to, that is so foreign to me that I'm trying to learn how to accept that concept now. And thankfully, when you're with someone who is patient with you through that, it's crazy. It's a crazy. I had to really stop and be like, I'm not used to like what you said. Like, when I'm thinking of you planning a date, like plan a date wherever you want to go. I want to go. And it's like, well, where do you want to go? I want to go wherever you want to take me. And it's like, no, I'm doing this for you. Like I like you tell me what you want, and that's what I will do. And I'm like, oh, all right, well, that's different. That means that I have to figure out what I want. And a lot of us, I mean, some as women, I can say for me, like, I am not used to any longer thinking about what I want and being with a man or a person who not only wants to give me what I want, but has the ability to do that and gladly does it. Never thought about it like you gave language to it in a perspective
Mm-hmm.
that I can understand better as I'm moving through this space, so I
Mm-hmm.
know how to respond better. It's like, oh, so you really just want to spend time. So it's like, oh, okay, so you got what you want because I showed up because we just here. So now you want to give me what I want because I'm here. Like, oh, get it, I got it. 'Cause I'm used to doing, like, I'm very giving, so I'm used to doing for my partner, for my person. I don't want them to have to need or want anything. Um, and as much as we talk about that reciprocation, hyper independent women, we have to learn how to receive and not feel guilty about it. Because when you find your person, the last thing I want to do is push my person away because I don't know how to let them be present, in my life. I'm not making the room for them to be present because no man wants to have to fight you to be in your life. They want to fight for you, not with you, no person. So, I dig what you're saying, what you said and what you shared. It just echoed and confirmed a conversation I had earlier today. So I'm like, I get it, and it's one step at a time. It's one step at a time. But yeah, guys. So do what we need to do to make sure that we are bridging these gaps of distance. Again, relationship distance is not just subjected to location, because you can be closer to someone who is miles apart from you than you are to the person who's across the street from you. Just depends on the amount of time, the effort, and the connection that you put into the relationship and spending that time. So I think this has been a great conversation. I think it's given all of us a lot to think about. Poor Theo is going to go journal, I'm sure. All the coaches up here, we listen. This is therapeutic for us. Y'all don't know this be a whole session later on. So we're gonna take our coach clinginess, as juggling put it, and go think about it within ourselves. We all gonna journal tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So before we leave, come on, Justin, give us some final thoughts and comments, and then Theo, and then chat. If you thank you guys for being here with us again and again and again. We love having these conversations. And actually, Coach's Corner is up next week, by the way. So you'll get us one more time. We promise we'll be better. I don't know how much better, but we'll be better.
Um, my advice is it is absolutely positively necessary and okay for you to love yourself enough to let go of a situation that only takes from you. If you got to make up the feeling to draw from it, that's not a situation that's gonna go anywhere. And it's necessary for you to hurt yourself by letting go something you've come to love so that you can heal yourself by learning to love yourself. And that's what I leave with everybody.
Mm.
All right. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Coach Theo, come on through.
I'm just looking at Demetra's statement, right? And really honestly just saying that, as much as it might be disheartening to recognize that, you never get that thing, right? I think for me, the journey has been good because what came on the other side of my journey was seeing myself the way others see me that appreciate my heart, right? And so the one thing that I learned, and I would say to people, is everyone doesn't have the same heart that you have, whether it's a good heart or a bad heart, right? So I learned that everyone does not have the same heart that I have. So it is my responsibility to be the caretaker of my own heart. And so, like Justin said, one of the biggest lessons I have learned that sometimes you have to walk away from something in order to make sure you are taking care of yourself, your heart, and ensuring that you get what you definitely are worthy and deserving of.
Awesome. Awesome. And I love that for us. I love these conversations. And again, for me, I would just share and say, don't discount yourself. Do what you need to do to get the love that you deserve. Don't talk yourself out of what you really want because you think you'll never get it. Because as long as you think you'll never get it, it will pass you by if it shows up. And so own your wants, own your desires, and know that you deserve them, and don't stop until you get them. Be who you want to receive, because you're going to attract what you project.
Yep.
And just protect your relationship at all costs. It don't matter what anybody else says and does. You and your partner are all that matter. Let people call you clingy. Let them call you, whatever, twins, y'all up underneath each other. And yep, I want to be in your skin, sir. That's where I want to be. There's nothing wrong. I heard them say last night on Call Me First this panel, I think Justin had made a point about in marriage and becoming, how we become one. That clinginess that a lot of us try to make negative is not negative. It's the process of how we become one. Us bonding together in that. So just don't let the distance become greater than the love. Listen, and when you find yourself in that position, take a date nap, y'all. I promise you, a date nap.
Take a date nap.
Ladies, put on them shoes that don't touch the floor. They meant for the ceiling.
I'm living through you, sis.
Listen, my ankles served their times in my 20s, 30s, and 40s. In my 50s, I keep it low to the floor. But them ceiling shoes is a whole different nature. I'm just saying. You can wear heels still. I'm just saying. Okay, it's not after dark. We after. So, thank you for joining, everybody. Please make sure that you hit that thumbs up button. Share this podcast with somebody, anybody, and everybody. I'm going to be all right one of these days, but just not today. So we appreciate you. Make sure you come back next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bring a friend. Tell somebody to join in the conversation, because it's going to be Coach's Corner, and we are going to be talking about getting past your past. We're going to come with some good tips, some good conversations, some good advice, and we're just going to, help you create some framework that will help you to get past your past so that you can get forward in where you need to go. If you're free tomorrow night, you want to come and have some time of fellowship, come on over to the Sheila Ingram Ministries Network across the street at 7:30 p.m. I'll be serving you in the capacity of being Elder Dawn for some spirituality, 30 minutes of encouragement through word, song, prayer, and praise. So good night, everyone. Have an amazing weekend. See you next week or tomorrow. Good night, y'all.